Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. I am so excited to show you guys what has been going on in the garden for the past month. It is about mid to late May now, and the wind is blowing, the birds are chirping, Nutmeg is having the time of his life outside, and we just want to show you what's going on. So let's get to our May garden tour. So first off here we have our new additions, 2 new garden beds that my husband built, but we need for it to stop raining so that we can get dirt. But anyway, on to plants. This is the pepper bed. We have been struggling with the peppers this year. I keep putting these things up, but the birds keep topping off my peppers as soon as I transplant them, unless they're already big like that one over there. But we are going to try building some little cages for when they're small, so hopefully that will do better. We do have some that are producing fruit, which is fun. Here's a Hungarian paprika. I am actually going to pick all of my arugula today for dinner. The chives are doing great. The leeks that I transplanted here last month are really taking off. And of course the salvia is just like completely taking over this bed. I'm gonna have to like push it back because there are pepper plants in here, but you know, we're having a good time, I guess. It's keeping the bees and the butterflies happy. But that's this bed. Over here, this bed is also kind of sad because the birds have done even more damage to these peppers, but as you can see, there's some shishitos over there and the flowers look pretty. We gotta get some cages before we put any more peppers in here. But next to it, we're gonna get to some of the really cool things that are happening. These are my beans. I have already harvested some bush beans, and these are my pole beans. I have edamame or soybeans over here, and then these have just started to climb all on their own, which is super cool. I didn't really have to tell them or train them. So I'm hoping once they get some height to them, we'll get some pretty nice long beans. And over here, this is called a fairy tale pumpkin. It's probably gonna be a while before I get pumpkins, but the foliage is super pretty. Here in my dill, I have a couple of friends. These are black swallowtail caterpillars. I did just order some enclosures for them so that I can keep them safe and keep them from completely eating my dill, but for now, they're having a good time. And then over here, I have butternut and spaghetti squash, which is just starting to climb the trellis. This one here is a bit farther along, so these are all of my cucumbers. They're full of flowers. They have really started to climb the trellis here, and I'm really hoping that we get some cucumbers soon. I also planted some extra tomatillos here. My husband and I built these little cages because those big ones were getting really out of control. I also have a bunch of nasturtium that I grew from seeds from my mom's plants from last year. So most of the seeds she gave me ended up being just plain green, but a couple were variegated, which is really cool to see. Over here is the main tomatillo bed, but we have some herbs as well. So I've got basil, I have dill, which has more of our little friends on it. They're just munching away at my plant. This one, they've really done a number on it, so I would like to get them off of here. This one is just starting to get some good size to him, but a lot of them are the bigger ones right now. And like I said, these tomatillos are going crazy. I've already harvested from them quite a few times. So we're just kind of waiting for more of the flowers to turn into tomatillos, though I have one over here. We'll see. Not quite ripe yet. This is the yellow one, so I have to wait for it to turn color. Over here is gonna be our 3rd and final tomato bed. But again, we need it to stop raining. The onions here are doing super well. Let me show you one. It's got some size to him. So I don't know, I'm thinking maybe in a month or 2 we can harvest all of them, or at least the first batch. I've never grown onions before, so this is the farthest we've made it. and I'm very excited about them. Also really excited, I noticed this for the first time. This is called a gray zucchini, and I'm just in love with this foliage. Do you see how beautiful those leaves are? But obviously got it for the zucchini, and today we have one. So I'm really excited. Probably in a week or less I'll be able to harvest and eat that guy, hopefully before I go on vacation. But either way, very excited about the zucchini. And then my watermelons are starting to climb as well. The orange ones are a bit bigger. These are my 2 red or pink watermelons, and then I have 3 orange. So we'll see how they do. I'm sure they're gonna get all twisted up and mixed up in here, but still exciting. The herb bed, not much has changed really. The oregano is just gonna flower any day now. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. That's not edible for you. No, that's lemongrass. That's not for cats. I know you think it is, but if you keep eating it, I'm gonna have to remove you. Thank you. So the only thing of note here is that this parsley took a little bit of a nosedive. I think because it keeps trying to bolt here, but we'll get it cleaned up as soon as the rain stops, and hopefully it'll look a bit better. But over here is the blackberry bed. The peas are done. This one's trying to come back, but they're really done. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest all of the peas that are left here and try to save the seeds for next year. But I did buy another blackberry plant, so we'll just put it here. And we've got our 2 blackberries that are hanging out. And I think did I show you guys last month? This one has blackberries on it. So they're starting to turn color. They're a little small, but that's okay. They're the first ones, and I do have more flowers coming. So that's pretty exciting. I have never successfully grown a berry before. I feel like that's not a normal home garden thing. So branching out of my comfort zone, and it seems to be working. Next to it, this is the Swiss chard. It got really beaten up by that last hailstorm, so I chopped them way back. The asparagus is still small, nothing has changed there. And this is my cilantro. And if you have ever attempted to grow cilantro before, you know that it just doesn't last long before it starts to bolt. So I decided to let it bolt. We'll let all of the bugs pollinate it and get some coriander seeds, because this is where coriander seeds come from. So we have a few. I feel like we're gonna have a lot more given the nature of this plant, but I'll kind of keep you guys updated. I feel like I have to wait till they start to dry off before I harvest them. And over here, the artichokes really aren't doing much. They're nice and big, but I was really hoping this year I would get some actual artichokes to eat. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Do have a ladybug friend though, so that's fun. And then I have the garlic and of course the lemongrass that Nutmeg was eating. Next to it, this is the kind of messy bed. I have decided that I am a failure at radishes. This is the best radish I got and it bolted, so we're just not gonna grow radishes here anymore. I'm gonna try to just, I guess, grow more carrots or something instead, because the carrots are doing really well. I have let them flower just because I wanted to see what happened, and I'm hoping that this turns into seeds. This one's just about done. Sorry guys, there we go. This one's just about done flowering, so I'm hoping I get seeds. And then these are kind of in their full swing of flowering right now. There's kind of a cool bug. Where is he? There he is. Cool bug on this one. I don't know what he is, but he's very colorful. Taking a little rest. I'll leave him be. And at the end of this bed is my little parsnips. I need to plant more because a few got wrecked by a storm. but this is what I have right now. They grow just like a carrot, but their leaves are a little bit cuter. So if you've never grown parsnips before, I highly recommend it. Behind them is kind of a mess. Obviously the strawberries are gonna take their time filling in, but I do get strawberries occasionally from them, which is nice. The kale is full of aphids, but I'm kind of leaving it that way. I'm gonna show you guys why. Now the aphids are super gross, so bear with me, but all of these little bugs here, the little black and blue and orange ones, those are ladybug larvae, and they feed off of aphids. So ladybugs are a super beneficial bug to have in your garden, even in your house, because they eat aphids, they eat spider mites, they eat mealybugs. So we're just gonna leave them there. I'm not eating this kale really at this point anyway, so we'll just create a nice little ladybug habitat. And then finally, my tomatoes, which we finally got trellised up. My husband was super nice and made a couple of trellises, and they're doing pretty well. There's actually quite a lot of action going on in here. So there's a couple, the sun golds are in the back, and they are producing like crazy. And here's a fun one too. This is the black strawberry tomato from Baker Creek Seeds. I also have some leeks in here that I transplanted that are doing really well, and just some flowers. So that's this tomato bed. And then over here, my yarrow, which has honestly some of the prettiest flowers. And it was never supposed to be this big in here, but I feel like it would be wrong to move it now, so we'll wait till the fall, I think. And then my husband just trellised these up and trimmed them. So this is kind of a new development here, plus some more leeks. But I have some tomatoes in here. So there's aroma, and there's more aromas over here. Let me come around. There they are. So hopefully we will have aromas soon. I do regret not separating out these leeks. I might still try to do it, but we'll see. We'll see how successful that is, but that's very much crowded. I do have this really cute purple alyssum in here also. I have not been able to find unique colors of alyssum as readily. Normally it's just like white or pink. So I'm really enjoying having a color of that. But that's pretty much the main garden. I'll just give you guys an overview, and then we have all of the trees in the back there. So that is it for our garden tour today. As you can see, we have a lot going on out here, a lot of things that I'm growing for the first time ever, and they're doing really well. A lot of experimentation, trial and error, and we're finally starting to see some produce set in, but we still have some projects that are in the works. So stay tuned next month. A lot more will be done, and hopefully the garden will be looking even more lush. But if you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss any more of nutmeg shenanigans out here in the garden. Thanks so much, and we will catch you in the next one.